Well, good morning. We meet again. I'm saying good morning. You could be listening to this at any point in time. Welcome in. I believe it is day 4 of the transmission series. And again, second day in a row, I'm doing this in the dark. I'm doing this in my pajamas. I'm doing this without having had my first sip of coffee. So I'm going to do that right now. And I thought today what I want to do is I actually want to try something a little different today because I'm getting a lot of responses to the energy of the transmission series, what the commitment means, the breadth of what we're going to be able to unpack. And I wanted to, really give in to my wholeness because that's what this is really about, right? Me committing to showing up audio, video, whatever it is, every single day on the podcast, on the Narrative Advantage podcast, on the Narrative Advantage on the YouTube channel, is about allowing myself and therefore giving you also permission to feel complete and whole and at the same time safe. And so part of this is, yes, I am overcoming my fear of being on YouTube without looking perfect. I am a woman in my 40s. I have 2 kids. I have a very busy life. I run a business. Doing this is a side of my desk personal project. This is not necessarily, the most polished thing I have ever or will ever do. So this is really me modeling what I believe is the next frontier of brand marketing. And I said I wanted to talk about personal brands. So let's just talk about that for a second, because, you think about what people have told you about personal brands. Personal brands, you're told, or even just corporate brands, doesn't matter. Brand is you decide who you want to sell to, right? You pick a niche. What do you do? Who are you? What do you do? And who do you help? Right? For so long, this is what we have been told. But here's what happens in your body. And here's what happens energetically when you give into that energy is that you disallow parts of yourself so vigorously because what you end up doing is creating a persona. And you hear this word all the time too, a persona. And it's a word in psychology. It's a word in marketing. It's a word in communication. It is a word in politics for sure. And I have dabbled. I have dabbled in the political sphere. And I think really it is enabling us to feel that restriction. And what I have been invited to do more so lately, and what I am inviting you to do is to even just imagine, and that's an act for now, is to just imagine what it would be like to not have to market or message to a niche and give in to that quote unquote expectation to live in that box and instead reverse the equation where you are so energetically aligned with you and who you are and what you are fully capable of bringing to every niche, maybe in different balance, perhaps in different measure, but you are still complete. Imagine you market, and I still hate that word, but you show up as a brand of you rather than you do the reverse. You pick your audience and then squeeze into that kind of framework or that box or that persona. I started this series talking about feeling the deep need to drop the masks, the deep need to help you recognize the binding and let it fall away, even just a little wee bit. So today, I just ranted way longer than I thought I was going to, but for today, what I want to do is I'm going to pull a card from a deck. And it's not a tarot deck. It's not one of my best ones, but yesterday I was thinking about this And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give in. I'm going to give in to the fact that this is how I would normally start my day. And I'm going to start my day this way with you. And recently I have switched things up. I have not been pulling cards or journaling with any degree of regularity lately. I stopped doing that and instead have swapped it and replaced it for movement practice, which has been a really interesting shift. But I'm happy to go back to it for us today. So I have the deck. I actually took the cards out of the deck already. So if you're watching the YouTube channel, I can show you the box. The Super Attractor deck by Gabby Bernstein. And it's one of the first decks I ever bought. It's not, like I said, it's just sort of like an affirmations deck. It's not, it's not like a predictive or a soul-seeking deck, but I do think it can tell us some truths. And I thought what I would do is just lean into what is it that we need in order to drop the mask? What is it that we need in order to feel safe enough becoming a niche of just one? And how can we allow that to be the pathway to our actual abundance? How can we allow that to be the story that we tell without contriving? And to stand in the power, frankly, and the knowledge that that is the most authentic way to show up. And that when we're showing up that way, our magnetism is at its highest frequency. We are not under pressure. We can easily attract things into us. There's nothing covering up our inner magnetism. So that's the energy that I want to pick a card. And I'm shuffling right now, so you can see. There are all these like phrases of, like they're affirmation phrases. And I'm going to pick one and then we're just going to interpret it. And then maybe we'll leave it there for today. And if you have questions, if you have comments, listen, while I'm doing this, I will say while I'm shuffling, leave me a review, leave me a comment on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit follow, share this with your friends your friends in need in business. And I will also say that over the last day, I've had a lot of folks comment on the changes to the website, just tonally, not huge changes on the website. There's been a significant tonal shift over there. And I am feeling into my next couple private coaching clients. So if you're feeling that and you want to talk about that, I am making a full, open, heartfelt invitation, to check it out. Send me a DM. There's also an application form now on the website that wasn't there 2 days ago, at erintrafford.com. And I would so love to work with you on these types of energies and these types of business strategies. Because here, don't get me wrong. This is a business strategy. All right. I think we're ready to pick. I think we are ready to pick a card. I can feel into it. And what is it that we need to feel safe and to feel whole and complete and okay showing up? Oh, I love this. I love this response. So it says, my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. Okay. So there's the card. There's the card. And what I take from this is, I think actually what we all need is, goes back to the vulnerability hangover that we talked about in day 2. It's, you will receive everything that you want, literally everything that you want, the relationships, the experiences, the abundance, the finances, the material objects, the spiritual awakenings, whatever it is that you want, as long as you commit to a practice of thinking about them in a way that is non-restrictive. I started out also this series using the word practice. Showing up every day is devotional. It is a practice. It's a ritual. So I love that that word is also on this card. I'm going to repeat what it says if you're listening to the podcast and you cannot see it on the screen. Is my ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. I love this. I love this for today. So our devotional, our practice, our transmission is, and I'm going to take this for me too, because we have a really busy Saturday coming up right now. I got swimming lessons for the kids. We've got Girl Guide activities. There's a community event going on our block that's going to, close traffic. And I've got a mountain of laundry to get done. And I've got some yoga practice I have to do because my exam is coming up for my teacher training and all kinds of stuff. It's a very busy day. But what I am going to commit to and what I'm going to invite you to doing is just take even 3 minutes while you're washing your face or brushing your teeth or whatever it is to practice good feeling thoughts around what would it feel like to drop the mask, and how could that feel really true for me, and allow the truth to be a feel-good thought. Thanks for listening. I will be back tomorrow, and who knows what we'll get up to. Thanks for listening. See you then.